I define open innovation as a collaborative tool to go farther. I think the startups push us to go faster. It is difficult to choose just some activities. I think all the activities are important and have a role in the innovation. So if you think about the budget that we dedicated, R&D projects are the most important. But I would like to highlight those activities that we do with the startups. We started this kind of activities 12 years ago, and are the activities that have grown most during these years. So in that activities, I would like to mention the investment activities. We invest in startups that are developing technologies and solutions that can be applied in our sector, specifically at Iberdrola. We also are developing a startup trial program where we are looking for companies that can provide solutions to our business to improve efficiencies and test these solutions to become these companies to providers. So in 2019 we have spent 54 million euros in purchasing from these startups. And the third one, and this is the last one that we launched 1 year ago, is our challenge innovation activity. It's a challenge program to send to the startup community challenges that we would like to solve in our business units, looking for solutions that can help us to improve efficiencies or solve specific pain points at the company. And we are now launching around 8 challenges per year, which is something very interesting to add new innovative solutions in a very efficient way. Our innovation model is open and decentralized. So we have created an ecosystem where we integrate startups, employees, accelerators, the public administrations, universities, etc. to that ecosystem. So keeping our philosophy in this way, we have created different teams that are leading the different activities that we have in this area. A team that is in charge of our challenges, a team that is dedicated for the investment arm, a team dedicated for these trials. So we have these teams with people from different businesses and also from the corporation. So we have on top of that 2 layers that I think are very important to understand how we are organized. The first layer is because we are in many countries, we have like regional or local innovation committees that tries to coordinate at a regional level this kind of activities and keep the same strategy. And then we have a second layer that is our global innovation committee, where we try to coordinate these activities globally at Iberdrola. So it's important to remark here that we have the commitment from our top management that is participating in these global innovation committees and that give us the support for improve every day our innovation activities, specifically those that are having more impact in the company. Well, I think it's important to measure these activities, the open innovation activities. I think it's important to measure because we want to continue improving these activities. So we have a number of KPIs. Some of them are KPIs related with figures. For example, we measure that we, in 2019, for example, we have measured that we have analyzed more than 300 companies. We have developed more than 30 pilots with this kind of startups. And we have spent 54 million euros in purchases from startups. So we have this kind of objective measures. that are quite useful, but we also want to measure the impact of these activities in our at Iberdrola, but not only at Iberdrola, but even in the energy sector. So for that, we are defining different KPIs that can allow us to measure this impact. These are the most interesting KPIs for us, but as you can imagine, the most complex. So to give you an example, we are measuring what is the impact of these activities, of a specific investment, of a specific pilot in the Iberdrola's EBITDA, just for taking into account that it's not only needed to measure the resources that we are dedicating, it's not only the team, the money, the time that we are dedicating, it's also the advantages, the savings, this kind of things that we are getting doing these activities. So this is very important to keep in mind, that we are developing these kind of measures to be more objective. Main barriers that we can find are related to administrative processes. As you can imagine, in a big corporation like Iberdrola, this is something really important. So we have been trying to adapt this process to innovation. We have been doing innovation for many years. Specifically for startups, we have been collaborating for more than 10 years. So we have been developing different tools or mechanisms that can help us to work with this kind of companies. So in that regard, for example, we created a mechanism called Iberdrola Suppliers Innovation Program that is focused or based on 3 pillars. First one is provide financial support for this kind of initiatives, looking for the financial mechanism that can be applied for that project. The second one is the joint venture or the activity of creating new companies or financing companies that are very active in innovation. And the third one is a mechanism to facilitate the innovation purchasing. So these mechanisms have been defined and published during the last 5-6 years. I think we have now a very useful mechanism that allow us to be very agile from the innovation perspective, and I don't see we will be limited by those barriers that we have found in the past. We are thinking about having some issues that can be improved that are related with the dispersion that we have geographically. We are in more than 40 countries, and this is a challenge that we are overcoming, but I wouldn't say the barriers are so important. Well, I think we are in a sector that is changing a lot, and it's going to change during the coming years a lot. So as you probably have heard, and now in the European Union we are talking about the Green Deal and those areas that are going to be focused on renewables, green hydrogen, digitalization and some others where the energy sector is very active. So we expect that there are several areas that are very promising. But I would like to focus on one area that we have been working for several years, I would say, and I think it's going to have a huge impact in the coming years. And this is digitalization. So at Iberdrola we have been deploying smart meters, we have been automating our power plants, we have been digitalizing a lot of different things, but I think this is going to happen deeper in the future. I mean, we are in an early stage for digitalization. I think the sector is going to change. There are going to be tools that will allow us to improve cybersecurity, that we have been working on that for years, that is going to empower our customers. So I think the role of our customer with demand response programs, etc., is going to change. And also things that are going to decentralize the system with platforms that help us to manage distributed energy resources. So digitalization, in conclusion, I think it's a promising area from my point of view. Thanks to the organizers, to Mind the Bridge and ICC for let us participate in this event or in this initiative. Thank you very much all.